once you're listening to music, you can see here, you know, it is actually the same music app that's running on your phone being rendered for the car, and they've taken an approach that really sort of brings the most relevant information, you know, front and center.
So is that actually now showing on your phone playing?
It's not actually. It's designed to, you know.
So it's not a distraction.
It's actually not so much a distraction thing, but when you think about the use case where you're driving, you've got navigation running, you've got music, all of this can sort of drain the battery on the device. Yeah. So, you know, turning off the screen is just one nice way for them to do this. As soon as I unplug this, you can see it disappears, and when I plug this back in, oops, it recognizes that we're in a CarPlay compatible car. It starts up, and then it will go ahead and turn off after some time.
And is that LTE readout? Is that your phone signal?
Exactly, yeah. It's the phone signal. So everything being rendered on the screen is actually coming directly from the phone. So all the apps that we're seeing also, they're apps that exist on the phone being rendered out to the display. And so you can see how this is really good. You get a nice continuous experience, and we'll see that a little bit moving forward as well. I'm going to back out to home here and look at some of the other features. Very quickly, I'll jump to now playing, just so that we can keep talking. I'm going to jump back and pause this, but you can see right from the main screen, you've got a quick access to now playing information, and that way you can jump back in, you know, work with your actively playing music, and get right back out. So one of the big things, obviously, once you get into the car is maps and navigation, and here we're using Apple Maps. Now we're sending information, you know, from the vehicle, our GPS information from the vehicle back into the phone, but otherwise everything's being you know, brought to you from the phone. So you know, it's the same Apple Maps that you've used on the phone itself, network-based maps, so you always have the sort of latest and greatest. One thing you guys are seeing here, right when you come in, you know, no problem. Yeah. So right when you come in, you see something front and center here, and what it's saying is it thinks that maybe at this time I should be at home, and I actually live in the East Bay, so it's a little bit farther from here, and it gives you a quick ETA. So this is sort of Apple's first pass at recommendation. You know, the phone is always with you, it knows where you are, and so it's able to have a good idea of what you're going to be doing. So, you know, it says, are you heading home? It gives you some ETA information. In this case, I'm not heading home right now, so I can say no, but I have the option to say, yes, I'm heading home, and this information is good for me, but I don't care about navigation, or I actually care about getting guidance, in which case I can choose to get guidance. You know, once you're in here, voice becomes something that's very big, and it's used throughout the system. For voice, you know, we take advantage of Siri here, so I'll go through a couple of destinations, but then also do some voice stuff as well. So here we've got some previous destinations that I visited. All of these icons represent points of interest that I've actually searched for or navigated to, or rather visited. So you can see here I've got some stuff that's actually local here to Sunnyvale. I was in Seattle over the weekend, so some stuff that I searched there. One thing I really want to point out is the difference in this icon. You know, here we've got these points of interest. This little mail icon is actually addresses that have been recognized elsewhere in the device. So either through text messages or through emails. So, you know, if you've ever had someone send you a text message with an address, and then you're trying to copy and paste it and figure out how to navigate it to there, you know, the CarPlay experience brings this front and center. It says, hey, someone sent you something that looks like an address. We'll pull it right into possible destinations, so you can access it very quickly. You know, if what you're looking for isn't actually on here, then you can get right up here to do a search. Once you do a search, you'll get a Siri prompt.
Where would you like to go?
Coffee.
I found 11 coffee shops pretty close to you.
Now again, this goes out to a back-end server, just like you'd expect it to. You always get sort of the latest upgraded list of different results near you. You can select a place. Now this brings you to basically the same list in a different view. So you can see I can still navigate through that entire list, and each one of these I'm getting some information, not only about the ETA and the distance, but also a nice overview of how to get there. At this point, you also have a chance to look at different routes. Once you're ready to select a route, you can go ahead and just start navigation to there.
Head west on Hermels Avenue, then turn left onto Potrero Avenue.
So the experience overall will probably look pretty familiar if you've used an iPhone in the past, but it is notably changed for automotive. So just the way the prompts show up, some of the text sizes, the overall interface is a little bit different. Next up is messaging. Messaging is something where voice becomes even more important. So you're not going to be able to read messages in the car, but you can have Siri dictate messages back to you if you have any unread messages, and you also use Siri to send messages. So I'll try and send a message right now.
To whom shall I send this?
Samir Gupta.
Okay, what do you want to say to Samir Gupta?
Hey Samir, what are your lunch plans today? Question mark.
Your message to Samir Gupta says, hey Samir, what are your lunch plans today? Ready to send it?
Send it.
Okay, I'll send your message.
And so that's how you would go through and use Siri. So similarly, if we get a response back, Siri will let us know that we have a message, and we can go in and have it read back to us. But in terms of visually reading messages, that's something that's not there. It's really trying to make sure that we're not going to be distracted while driving. As you can imagine, voice is something that, again, it's going to be prevalent throughout here. You saw in messages, right as soon as you jump into the app, it puts voice front and center. It's the same with telephony.
Would you like to make a call or check your voicemail?
You'll get a chance to do that. If you'd like, you can back out and then, access your phone the same way that you normally would. But, voice is sort of the preferred way to do many things. I think given that, we have voice and that, it's using Siri, I think one of the most important things to sort of recognize is the fact that Siri exists throughout the system. And so we do have a dedicated Siri button. And so at any time you can use this button and access Siri and do all of the same things that you would want to do. So, maybe we can just ask what the weather's like in San Francisco. What's the weather like in San Francisco today?
It should be nice in San Francisco today, up to 61 degrees Fahrenheit.
Right. Okay, so those are sort of the core features. Did you have any questions?
Does the car still have Mercedes navigation built in?
It does, and here maybe I should have went over that as well. Actually, this last icon that you see here, this exits out of the CarPlay feature, and so we treat this as a feature within our vehicle, and then we're able to go back and use our own system. Now, this particular vehicle is a Euro spec vehicle, so it doesn't have the map data for the US. But I mean, it does have the full-on navigation system, as you can see here.
What car are we in at the moment?
We're in a 2015 C220. And I would say, just generally speaking, we're in the new C class, and so that's also one of the things that we're showing here.
Is there a way if I look up something on Apple Maps, like a coffee shop, to say, can you send that to Mercedes navigation rather than using Apple Maps?
So that's currently not implemented in this demonstration. We're sort of keeping them separate today, but that's conceivably something that we'd consider for the future.
Sometimes you're not going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, there are certainly places where service is not necessarily going to be the best, and in that case, you want to maybe default down to the Mercedes navigation system where your connectivity is not going to be an issue. And
Yeah.
so in a case like that, I can totally see that. But otherwise, we sort of see, CarPlay being, a holistic experience in and of itself. So, you enter CarPlay and everything that you'd want to do related to that can be done inside.
And you're selecting and going back just by pressing the dial and hitting the back button.
Yeah, and so
Same as you would for any normal
let me
command.
switch back into here. So basically, all the interfaces are the same. We have rotations here. We'll also have pushes. This is something
This
that's
guy
still
needs
in
to
development.
CarPlay.
Yes, when you're holding a smartphone, that would be helpful.
He's
He is
perfect. He's
apparently
hired for the
both
demo.
lost and using his phone while driving.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, we've got, we can press down on it and we can select, and then we can press the back button to get out. The way we have this map today is that at any given time, even if I'm deep inside my music, I can long press here and it will take me back. So that sort of acts as a home button, so to speak. And then of course we've got the dedicated Siri map button, or sorry, the Siri button map. So those are the different things that we have. As we move to production, when this is ready to be released, or when it's in customers' hands, we'll also have full touchpad integration, so that if you need to do swipes or gestures, you'll be able to do that as well.
The bit where you started up the phone app and it asked you whether you wanted to make a call or a voicemail, can you back out of that while it's asking you that, or do you have to wait for it to
We can
finish?
check. I usually wait for it to finish, but
Let me know if you'd like.
Okay.
yeah,
Because sometimes
you just don't want to wait.
you just want to get on with it.
Yeah.
Shut up, Siri.
Yep. And one last thing here maybe to show is this icon here. If you're switching back and forth between different apps, you can see that this icon represents you've got a current navigation en route. So if we were to go in here and this navigation and then get back out, you can see that disappears. Now, of course, when you're driving, you're still going to get notification prompts, both as slide down notifications and voice prompts that you can audibly hear. But at least you have an idea that there is a navigation